I've made the most money I've ever made, but at the same time I've lost the most money I've ever lost. What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob, and this is actually my first video. I just wanted to kind of maybe start making videos to help people or teach people some stuff. I know some people are curious how I do what I do sometimes, and why not show them a little bit? A little bit about myself. I'm 21. I go to University of Alabama. I'm an upcoming senior here, so getting ready to graduate. I own 2 businesses right now. I do digital marketing, so I help some of the small businesses around here with their marketing. And I actually just started a car dealership not too long ago. So that's the fun part. That's what we're going to talk about in this video, how I actually did that. It's a little bit about that, I guess. But yeah, back in August, I started working at a car dealership over here in Tuscaloosa. It was kind of small. There was only 2 people in the office that were working there besides me. But they were just selling cars, and they needed somebody to help with the marketing, so that's what I came to do. Really, I worked there about 6 months, and we went from having 70 cars on the lot to about 170 cars. So we grew a little bit, and I feel like I played a good part in that. So while I was there, I just kind of noticed that it wasn't too hard to sell cars, and I was getting $10 an hour to come in and sell cars and do a bunch of work, and I could go do that myself. I could put in the same amount of work that I did there and make 100 times the amount of money I made. So yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it. Actually, I saw this guy on YouTube, and he's about my age. He started one, and so it just kind of got me interested in it. So I started talking to my boss, and he was like, yeah, if you want to go do that, like, I'll kind of teach you some stuff and help you out and everything. And then he was actually, on second thought, if you want, we could start one together. He was like, we could be a 25-75 partners, and then I'll put down the money and you do the work. And I was like, I don't know. Then I'm kind of stuck there making 25% of the profit and doing all the work. I'd rather just make it all, So I was debating. There's actually 2 kinds of dealers. You could be retail or wholesale. Retail is where you would sell to the public like a normal car dealer. Wholesale, you're not allowed to sell to the public, but you could go to the auction and buy cars and sell them back to the auction or to the dealers. But there is like one of those like loopholes, I guess. So if I'm a wholesale dealer, I could partner with a retail dealer and sell my cars through them to the public, which you're not supposed to do that, but I know people that do that. And so yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do that. It was actually kind of weird. When I was reading the rules, it looked like for wholesale you had to have a place of business, like other than your house. And so I was like, well, I might as well just get my retail license if I gotta go get a place. So I ended up just doing that. It's a lot more work to do that, unfortunately. So I got me a place in Tuscaloosa. When I got it, I didn't know that it was zoned incorrectly. So I went through, I got it, I have to do pictures, I have to get my sign, I have to get my insurance and a bond. So I went through, did all that, applied, ended up getting declined because of the building. And it turns out it wasn't zoned right. So then I was like, well, now I gotta go find a new place, and kind of wasted all that time. So I went, in Tuscaloosa, it was zoned business neighborhood, and for dealers or owning a car dealership, you have to have certain zoning because you have a lot of foot traffic if you're not me, So my plan is not to have a big dealership that people were coming in, have 100 cars on my lot. I would rather just have maybe 2 or 3 at a time and just sell them kind of personally, I guess. It's easier, I can just sell them online and make enough money, then I don't have to manage all the extra stuff because I don't really have time for that. So that's my goal, is to do that, and I don't really need a lot. I don't need to pay for a lot. So I got a place in the county. Somebody told me if you were in the county that they don't really care what business it is. So I got a place in the county. It's about 45 minutes away, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter too much because I don't really go down there. So I just had my cars, and yeah, when I got that place, I reapplied, and I went to the class. They have a class about once a month that you go and you learn how to do the titles and stuff like that in Alabama. So I did all that. That was about April 11th, around that time. So that's when I officially got my license and I could sell cars. So I got that on a Wednesday. Then on Monday, I sold my first car. It was the 2016 Mercedes C-Class. I sold it for about $25,000. And then on Friday, I sold my next car, which was a 2010 Hyundai Genesis. And those were only two cars I had. So then I was kind of like, well, now I gotta go find some more. But I did 33,500 in sales my first week, and I was just kind of like blown away. Like I felt like it wouldn't be too hard to do because I'd already kind of done it. But then going through and doing it myself, it was even easier. So it's really, I mean, it's about what cars you have and the prices that you have it at. So I've kind of just now gotten to the point where I'm going to auctions more again and buying cars. So, I mean, it's fun to make the money, but you know, I've made the most money I've ever made, but at the same time I've lost the most money I've ever lost. So it's really just a game, I guess. You know, you gotta kind of figure out what you're doing and keep working at it, because once you figure out what you're doing, you're gonna end up on top anyways. It's kind of a numbers game, you know. If you went and you started one and you bought a car for $500, you put a little bit of risk in there, you could only lose $500. But if you go and you bought a car for $25,000, you could lose $4,000, you know, the snap of your fingers. You never know what's gonna happen. So you just gotta, you know, it's a risk, but higher risk, higher reward. So that's the fun part of it a little bit, but you gotta watch out. So, but yeah, I say I've been selling stuff, really, I mean, since I was able to. When I was about 15, I started selling computers online, like through Facebook or whatever, and eBay. I could buy them on eBay and sell them for a higher price in person, and then I could buy them in person for cheaper and then sell them like at a certain price on eBay if I couldn't sell it in person again. So I mean, I don't know, it's the same kind of stuff, just higher scale. Plus, I mean, I know how to take pictures and know how to sell stuff, and I know people who will fix stuff now, so if I have any problems, I can get something fixed or get rid of something. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun since I started it. I mean, if anyone needs a car, you know, hit me up. I'll find you something for sure.